And I'll have, and this is of course in the Quran, Inna Allah wa malaikatu yusalluna ala nabiyya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu tasliman. Allah says in the Quran, Inna Allah, the fact that Allah and the angels send blessings on the Prophet, O you who believe, sallu alayhi. You send your salah, and it's to say sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and taslim, sallamu ala taslimin, and to submit to him, to surrender yourself to Allah's messenger's will, whatever Allah says, and what ma'atakum rasul fakhuduhu. Whatever the messenger gives you, then take it. So this is our allegiance to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I'll have my say with you today concerning orthographics. Today we're going to talk about orthographics. What is orthographics? Why does he start off like this? It started off like this because I was in California teaching a class of qira'ah. Qira'ah is recitation of not just the Quran, but specific types of recitation of the Quran. There are 7. But the people that were learning it were not able to learn it because they didn't have a basic tajweed class. In fact, they didn't even know how to pronounce the letters properly. So as the teacher, after teaching this class for a few months, I decided that I could not go further, honestly, and teach something that they could not catch. Regardless if you say, I want this class, you can't catch it. So we have to start where you need to start, and that's with orthographics. And so they might fire me the next day, right? They might say, well, we don't like that you gave us this class. We wanted the class on this. I'm only going to teach you what you can catch. So I said, I'll have my say with you today concerning orthographics. What is orthographics? In Arabic, we have a thing called atful bayan. I'm talking fast because we only have a little bit of time. And you can hear 5 times faster than I can talk anyway. So orthographics, in Arabic, atful bayan is you mention the general and then you go to the specific, right? You mention the general, like Allah says, ihdina sirat al-mustaqim. But ihdina is to guide us. Guide us what? Sirat al-mustaqim. What is sirat al-mustaqim? Sirat al-ladina an'amta alayhim ghayru maghdubi alayhim walad dhalin. That's all explaining what ihdina means. Guide us to what? Then you explain orthographics. Orthographics is ortho meaning mouth, graphic is visual. So it's a visualization of the things that you say on your tongue. Hence, we call it the alphabet. So it's just a spiffy way of saying alphabet. Okay? What about it? Descriptions of the alphabet. Okay? And their numerals. Every letter has a numeric value. The points of articulation. Every letter is enunciated in a different way than another. Arabic is a totally Ebonic language. Every letter has a particular pronunciation. There are no 2 letters that are exactly the same. Period. There are no 2 letters that are exactly the same. Do you understand that point? So each one has a different point of articulation or sifat. If they share the same point of articulation, they have different sifat that make it different. Okay? As each one comes, as each letter comes, and as it does, it has its own sensation. The Quran is shifa. Me and the Imam were talking a few moments ago. He was saying that there is 2 types of tib. There's 2 types of medicine. There's medicine that we purify the heart. That's the Quran. And there's medicine that we have to cut you and pull the vein out and twist it up in the knot if we have to give you dialysis and all these different types of things like that. That's the tib of the body. What's the tib of the heart? The Quran. Recitation of the Quran. Allah's messenger said, how did you know that there was a shifa, there was a purification, there was a cure in it? And what? Listening to it. So that as you pronounce it, if you pronounce it right, it has an effect on the body and the soul. So, the body, as the man was sick, he got bit by stung by the what do you call it thing? Aqrab. The scorpion. The man recited to him and his body was cured. And the soul, because as you recite, it purifies the heart. And lifts all that soot that's in the heart out of there. Right? So it has its own sensation. Roll out. That's this explanation of that. Keep going. The first one is Abujad. Abjad. Hawaz. Huttiya kaliman sa'fas kurishat takhid dadik. Today we're going to do Abujad. Now Alif is the first of signs. It's makhraj, hard to find. Now King Abujad, we spoke about this earlier. There are 6 kings. What are the 6 kings' names? Okay, I'm here by myself today, people. Boys and girls. Today the 6 kings are King Abujad, Hawaz, Huttiya or Hati, Kalman or Kalmun, Sa'fas or Kurisat. Okay? Those are the 6 kings. They lived in a time and they were very greedy. We gave you a handout on this. Did you all read it? Yes. Okay? The handout tells you the story of the 6 kings. They lived in a time and they were very selfish. They kept everything to themselves. Even when the cloud came to give cover, to give shade, they said it's for us. And they made all the people stay there and they went under the cloud and the cloud killed them. The cloud destroyed them. Lightning came and struck them down. And the people before that had nothing to write about. They wrote about that story. 3 men came from another town who knew how to write and said, what's the news? And they helped them use the names of these 6 kings to formulate their alphabet. So out of the letters of these 6 kings come the Arabic alphabet. And that is the most authentic story on where we get this alphabet from. And even today, we still have, in mostly all the languages in the world, follow the abjad format. If it's not abjad, then you have alpha, beta, gamma, delta, which comes from abjad. Even in Russian. So, and all of them don't know where they get their format from. Only us. Only we are the only ones that know exactly where and have a story that says exactly where we got this actual format. They don't even have a myth. They don't even have a lying story saying, or a historical, we call a myth, a story that doesn't have a basis that they can really put their finger on, like from the Quran and Sunnah. We can say from Quran and Sunnah, but this, it doesn't say from the Quran. The Prophet didn't say this, but this is something that we have found amongst the Arabs and amongst their literary scientists from a long time. Yes? Okay. So that's what King Abu-Jad is. And I had to go over that because we're going to go through this whole thing like that. Since I only have 5 minutes left, I'm going to have to stop right here. Okay? And we won't go over this whole point. We'll go over the abjad next week. You have the handout. You can study it. You can be prepared when you come in. We will do the entire abjad. Just King Abu-Jad, abjad, alif, ba, jim, and dal in one lesson. The next one will be hawaz, hutti. Each lesson will deal with each king. Because you'll have the handout beforehand. So you don't have to come to class being unprepared. It doesn't take a long time to do this, but this is a necessary part of your meticulous stair-stepped growth in Arabic. And the reason why people fall through, and you know, people become mubtadi'un, become Sufis and all this other crazy stuff because they didn't understand simple, basic Arabic. And some people say, oh, you're going too far, you're giving them too much. No, we're not giving them too much, we're not going too far, we're doing basics. And if you don't start off with your right foot and left, you start walking backwards and sideways, eventually you're going to have to stop and start all over. So, أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله. Do I have any questions at this time? If there are no questions for me, I have some for you, but I'll save them for next week. Inshallah ta'ala. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Oh, I don't think I